I'm driving around and listening to local radio to hear about events and stuff like that. And one of the I'm listening to local radio, and you know you've heard this before, and this goes for any place, but radio DJs talk in a certain way. It's like kind of how I did the intro for this video. It's like Violent Professional Podcast. Like you just do this fucking fake ass voice, radio voice, right? And there's this radio station in, I think it's Fort Smith, which is right down the road from here. It's actually a pretty big city. And not like massive. It's got 80,000, population 80,000, which back in Washington, I thought, well, we had 40,000 and 50,000 in Olympia and Lacey. I thought there was a lot of people just crammed in there. And they're essentially landmass is like kind of, I think, bigger than Olympia and Lacey. Or no, Olympia and Lacey is bigger than Fort Smith proper and the suburbs or whatever, but it's a decent sized place. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know the square mileage of the place, but yeah, there's this DJ. There's like these things about. There's like these pre-recorded things, and it's like the standard fucking radio voice. And like I thought it was funny because I've listened to it for a few days, and I'm like, it's KISR. So he goes, the Kisser. Like. Why do they do that voice? Why don't they just talk fucking regular? But it's like, even while they're fucking talking to their fucking people on the radio, they're like, and then what happened? And it's like, imagine if like you're just walking down the street and you're like fucking going, hey man, you got directions? He's like, well, you take a left at the fucking Sunoco and take a right and go a mile. Like, what? No one talks like that, first off. And random ass people on the street would be fucking weird also. But they have like weird events and fucking promotions and shit like that. And it made me think of like car salespeople and like what they do. Because my brain goes all over the place. Like car salespeople are very much like the radio DJs of sales. Like they do the same shit, and it's like with everything. It's like the physical vocal version of that would be, and follow me here, would be the balloons and the giant inflatable gorillas that they put on top of their fucking dealerships. You know what I mean? Like if you could turn a voice into a physical, tangible thing, it'd be like the balloons at fucking like car dealerships. It's like, it doesn't make me want to be a part of it. It's like the dude will say some shit. He's like, hey kids, do you like giraffes? And it's like, this weird fucking voice that they all do. KISR. Like, the Kisser. Like, who decided that in a meeting? It's like, well, we're going to take KISR and make it the Kisser. Hey kids, do you like pedophiles? Come on down to fucking Kyle's puzzle basement. Like, fucking weird. Also, what's creepy about fucking radio DJs as opposed to podcasters, what's weird about radio DJs, I don't know if from your hometowns or whatever, because I remember back in New York, and I'm originally from upstate New York, but not too upstate. Like I'm near like West Point, so Poughkeepsie, New Paltz, Kingston. Anybody know Cottikill, New York? That's where originally. I was born in Connecticut, moved to New York when I was 4. So, but like they would have like. And it's super fucking creepy if you think about it. Radio DJs will do these like promotions for like teen night and shit. And these are like middle-aged dudes that are like, come on down to teen night. And they're like fucking remixing all these fucking like things. And it was always weird. Like I look back at it, like we would have these nights where you could go to these fucking dance clubs where they serve alcohol in New York. And like you have to wear different wristbands, right? You'd have to wear the different colored wristbands because you were under 18 or you were above 18. And if you were 21 and above, you could go get alcohol at these fucking places. It was just like this mix of like 14 to fuck, because that was the minimum, is 14 to fucking 30. Think about that shit. And you would have radio DJs there fucking with their fucking like thing like this. And they're like, oh, what's the request? Oh, yeah, coming to the stage, Tiffany. And he's like, we're fucking having, what's the fucking band? Boys to Men. And it's like, He's got the fucking turntables and shit, and it's like a bunch of 14-year-olds all the way up to 30, like these old dudes in fucking sweaters just with their fucking margaritas and shit. Who has margaritas at a dance club? Let me fucking erase that. They got their fucking martinis or whatever. Stop it. All right, they have a fucking vodka 7, and they're just like, oh yeah, like they're dancing at these fucking teen nights. That's what they would advertise it as. With these radio DJs that are fucking middle aged, just watching this shit, like, just fucking taking their shit, and they're like, oh yeah, this next banger's coming up for all the ladies. It's like, there's a bunch of teenagers. Fucking crazy. And then you go to fucking car dealerships, right? You go to the fucking car dealerships, and they're basically the same thing. These motherfuckers are selling you cars with gorillas inflatable, like that's gonna fucking do it. With fucking balloons that are just by the wind is going into traffic and shit. It's like, you look at the fucking car dealerships, you're like, wow, that's a lot of balloons. Maybe I should get a new car. And you fucking go there, and like zombies, they pour out of a building trying to butt fuck you with fucking steel. Get you that hot new ride for the summer so you can take your family down to teen night.